Hi, this is Johnny I with Operation Barbecue Relief. Today I'm going to show you how to make grilled creamed corn right out on your barbecue. Creamed corn is a real popular side, and I think by grilling corn, making it all on your barbecue, it just adds to the flavor. Before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge and recognize Blue Rhino for all of their support in fueling our disaster programs, which helps us feed the one hot meal that matters. Okay, so to get started, we've got our ears of fresh corn that I've shucked and removed all the silk, threads. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to just rub a little butter on the corn. Okay, we want to grill the corn, and if we put the corn on raw, it's just going to burn and it's not really going to have a lot, have flavor, but it won't have as much flavor. Okay, the butter really goes well with corn. Okay, so just rub a little bit of butter on each ear. This will, like I said, also help with the charring that you're going to see on the corn. All right, once we have our butter, I'm going to take a little salt, pepper, garlic, our OBR Texas SPG, and I'm just going to sprinkle it on all sides of the corn. All right, now we're going to head off to our grill. I'm going to place the corn on the grill, set medium high. And we're going to cook it until we get a nice charring on the outside of the corn and the corn gets a little tender. Now it's important when the corn is grilling, you have to keep turning the corn to make sure that it gets brown all around the sides. Okay, now that our corn is done, I'm going to remove it from the grill, and what I'm going to do is lower the heat to a very low to medium flame, and we're going to show you how to make the cream sauce for the creamed corn. Place my cast iron pan on my grill and lower the flame. Okay, so while the pan is heating, I'm going to show you how we're going to remove the kernels of corn from the ears. Okay, so first you want to make sure you cut your corn on a tray, because as you cut the kernels off, you want to make sure they don't fall all over the place. So very carefully, I'm going to stand the corn upright, and using a knife, I'm just going to carve the outside of the ear of corn. Okay, now we're ready to make the cream sauce. I'll set my corn aside. This corn smells fantastic. And now we're going to head over to the grill and see if our cast iron pan is hot, which I'm sure it is. Okay, so our pan is hot. What we're going to do is make what's called a roux. We're going to take some softened butter, and we're going to add that to the pan. We're going to let this melt. I'm going to place it back on the grill. Once this butter melts, we're going to stir in a little bit of flour and then add our milk. Okay, let's check on our butter. See, our butter is nice and melted. Now to the butter, I'm going to add some flour, and I'm going to stir that up real well. Okay, you see that's what's going to thicken our sauce. The flour and the butter together, called roux. Put that back on the grill just for a minute or two to cook. All right, our roux's been cooking for about a minute and a half. As you can see, it's starting to tighten up a little bit. Now we're going to add our milk, nice and slowly. You want to make sure you don't get any lumps. And now a little trick, I like to add a little bit of cream cheese also to the mixture. That's going to give it a nice, rich, creamy thickness and really amp up the flavor of the corn. All right, I'm going to put this back on the grill and we're going to let this come to a boil. All right, so now let's take our milk off and see how thick we're getting. Okay, you can see we're starting to get almost like a cream sauce consistency. Now we're ready to finish. We're going to add that wonderful grilled corn that we made. We're going to add a little bit of our salt, pepper, garlic, our Texas SPG. And then I add just a little bit of granulated sugar. And that's going to help that corn get that sweet flavor. Okay, I'm going to stir this up real well and then just put it back on the grill. And what we're looking for is for this cream corn to tighten up just a little bit and should be ready any moment. Okay, it's been on the grill now about 5 minutes or so. Let's see how we're doing. As you can see, our cream corn is now done. Look at how yummy that is, that smell of that fresh corn and that creamy flavor. This is going to be fantastic. Grilled cream corn. Enjoy.